This is the first time to sit down together.
Yes.
And talk about this blended family situation. We've been doing this for 20 plus years. That's a long time.
That's a long ass time.
The beginning between us was rough because I did not understand marriage.
Yeah.
I didn't understand divorce. I will say that I probably should have fell back.
You think?
I do, and I'm gonna tell you why.
What?
I would have fell back because I feel like when Will and I first started dating,
Yeah.
you know, I had this thing in my mind. I was like, okay, well, you did that and that's done.
Yeah. Oh, you thought it was done?
Right, that part.
funny,
See,
girl.
that's where I was wrong.
Yes.
Now, being a married woman,
Yeah.
and if Will and I were to get divorced now, my God. So when I think back about where I was, some of my insensitivity, some of my inconsideration, just in regards to you guys unwinding a marriage.
Yeah.
And then me trying to get in there and like, all right, so we got Trey, we got, okay, so this is what we need to do.
I was like, bless her little heart.
Right.
I remember I was dropping him off, and little Miss Thing said, we need to talk about Trey's behavior.
I was like, we all need to sit down and have, right.
Do you remember that conversation that we had on the phone that time?
I do.
It was fighting words.
Very few times in my life I can recall being checked real hard where I didn't have nothing to say. You did that. So I'm calling to talk to Trey.
Right.
But I had to go through you to get to him.
Okay, got
You
it.
answered the phone. And I
Okay.
wasn't really respectful. So you basically let me know, I don't really appreciate your tone. I was like, I
don't care.
It don't matter. And you hung up on me.
Oh,
Girl. I called back and I happened to say, quote, bitch, you living in a house I picked out. You said, it's my house now.
Will Smith, let me have it.
What was his take?
His take was, that is Trey's mother, and that's just not your place.
And the one thing I will say about you, you would always say, Ree, I apologize.
Right.
You always owned it, and thank
Right.
you for that.
One thing that Will has always been really clear about is the mother dynamic.
Yeah.
Basically, his
see that.
position was, I'm always willing to hear, I'm open ears, but you have to understand she's Trey's mother. It took a lot of maturity.
Because I didn't know that.
And he knew when to step off. When he was like, that's between you and Ree, y'all gotta figure that out.
And you know what I think? Part of my responsibility is to respect you.
Just that level of respect and consideration. And that takes a minute to get to. What would you say was the most difficult point for you in regards to this dynamic?
The most difficult part was the week he told me he was introducing you to Trey. And I said, no, I don't think that's a good idea.
Right.
And he's like, well, it's happening. So Trey comes home. I said, how did you like Miss Jada? He said, I really liked her, Mommy. Oh, my God. Thank you for loving my baby. So he comes, he says, I want to get her a present. That was a turning point because I did see your heart with Trey. You know, I did see that you loved this kid. You really
Right.
did. And I saw a woman who was doing the very best she could. I'll be honest with you. I had my doubts.
I know you did, because do you remember when you told me it was Trey's birthday party and you had invited me and you looked at me and you said, you know he's not easy, right?
Was I talking about Will or Trey?
You were talking about Will.
Was I right?
You were.
That's what I'm saying, girlfriend. Just looking out. Just looking out. Because I know this little boy
Right.
is a lot.
Right.
And I know this baby daddy
It's a lot.
is a lot.
Right.
You know, I chose to walk away from the marriage. That's a choice that I made. And even to this day, thinking that I broke up a family, I didn't give Trey what I wanted for him. I didn't give him what he needed.
Right.
You know, I didn't give him what his brother and sister have. That's hard.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's what I have to live with.
Right.
And that broke me down. It still hurts.
You know, I had this fantasy in my mind. I'm like, oh man, we're just gonna be one big happy family. We're gonna make this work. And Trey, this is gonna be seamless for him. And it hasn't been. And it's been difficult. Especially now as he's older and just seeing some of the stuff he has to deal with.
But I know you and I both understand. We've all come here with our burdens.
Isn't that something how we can relate because of Trey? And I'll tell you, on this side of things,
Right.
my son could not have a better bonus mom.
Thank you, Ray.
No, thank you. He couldn't.
And he's got a great mother.
Oh, we did it.
We did it. We did it.